Hello. I would like to start with extending a very warm hello and a very warm welcome to everybody who's taken time out of their evening to tune into the show, Ray Path Productions. I am your host, Chloe Folan, clairvoyant. I would also like to extend a thank you to Dave for producing my show. Just for people that don't know me, this is a first for me. I've never before created video content or done any type of radio work. So definitely please send me grace and bear with me as I adapt and adjust to connecting with people in this way. To start the show, I think it would be very appropriate, considering it's my first show, to explain a little bit about what I do and what my background is, and the type of metaphysical work that I do, and the types of readings and personal and development workshops that I offer. I'm involved with 3 particular well-known and well-respected metaphysical esoteric schools. The school I'm most deeply connected with would be the Rainbow Bridge Techniques group and community. And the term Rainbow Bridge is a coined term for the type of phenomena that can be seen in the central channels of those who have done a lot of clearing work utilizing the Rainbow Bridge techniques. I also give progress readings to other Rainbow Bridge practitioners nationally and internationally, because with the Rainbow Bridge techniques, they're a technique that you use on yourself for clearing karmic imbalance within the personality vehicles internally and externally. So I'm one of the most senior, as far as I'm aware of, one of the most senior readers in Ireland to be contacted to verify the techniques as people progress through the techniques. Sometimes people like to know how the internal and external patterns and karmic imbalance is fitting and the effect that's having on them. People sometimes also like to know the condition of the central channel. They also like to know about how the antiqurana threads are weaving and heart center petals are developing. So that would be the backbone of what I do. And that is how I started myself with the Rainbow Bridge techniques. I would have used them myself. And then because people knew I was organically clairvoyant, as I call it, I had people naturally come to me and ask me for readings to check their progress with the techniques. And it grew from there to where I now also do facilitate the Rainbow Bridge Phase 1 and Phase 2 techniques here in Ireland. I'm also connected with the Diana Cooper Foundation here in Ireland, and I run workshops on that school's behalf, the Lemurian Planetary Healing workshops, and also the Golden Atlantis workshops. I facilitate those here in Ireland, as well as also I'm involved with and through the Center of Being, which would be the central hub for the integrated energy therapy techniques developed by Stephen Thayer. I'm qualified with that school to give integrated energy therapy healing sessions, distance and in person, as well as also qualified to train others how to give integrated energy therapy techniques. I teach the basic, intermediate and advanced workshops on behalf of the Center of Being. But coming right back to Rainbow Bridge, because that is what I would like to highlight with Ray Path Productions here this evening, because I'll say it again, that's the backbone of what I do. And that is the backbone of where I started to do more public work and more international work with people. So like that, I started using the techniques myself, and then just naturally started giving readings to other people that inquired about how they were progressing with the techniques. And I also progressed on to then being able to officially give Phase 1 and Phase 2 Rainbow Bridge workshops. So that's the backbone of what I do and the foundations of what I do. And with Phase 1 of Rainbow Bridge, just to explain the techniques in more detail, what Phase 1 of Rainbow Bridge does is it centers on healing, clearing, and widening the central channel. And why that is important for a lot of people is because you can liken your central channel to a cable cord that runs through the body. And even though the central channel does extend above the head and down past the feet, the main portion of the central channel and the portion of the central channel that gets targeted with the techniques is between the Soul Star 6 inches above the head and the Earth Star 6 inches below the feet. And that's the portion of the central channel that's important, because as most people know, that's also where the main chakras or energy centers are in the body. So with the way the techniques widen, heal, and clear the central channel, it helps the chakras sit into the body where they should be, which allows for better communication between the chakras. It allows people to receive clearer inspirations. It allows people to feel more grounded. It helps people set better energetic boundaries. There's a myriad of benefits to the techniques. And when I start talking about the benefits of just phase 1 of Rainbow Bridge, I always get an image in my head over some of the social media posts that do the rounds. And one in particular where it shows the picture of a dog or a person collapsed exhausted on the floor sleeping, and the caption reads, empaths after a day of peopling, meaning people feeling absolutely exhausted after a day of peopling, as some people call it. And like that, this is why these techniques are so fantastic, because if you're the type of person that sometimes feels very overwhelmed in social settings, or if you do find that you do sometimes do get overwhelmed quite regularly, or like that, if you can feel overwhelmed with the different types of contact with people, this technique's fantastic for healing and clearing the central channel, which helps you to feel more aligned and balanced, which helps you to feel more grounded, and really, really helps with setting better energetic boundaries. And you find that quite easy to do. So with the Rainbow Bridge techniques, and the other reason why I adore them and always recommend on the techniques to people is because it's a do-it-yourself technique. So once you've received proper instruction over how to utilize the techniques, you then do the techniques on yourself. And phase 1 of Rainbow Bridge takes about 3 to 4 months to complete. And that's also the beauty of it. It puts the power to heal back into your own hands. It assists with putting you back into the driving seat of your own life. It assists you with taking your power back. Like that, if you're ever watching different motivational speakers or looking into what 12-step recovery programs are about, or even how people approach better health, these are a technique that you're not relying on going to somebody else once a week for teaching. You're not relying on going to somebody once a month to have the work done. It's a technique that once you receive proper instruction over how to utilize the techniques, you use the techniques on yourself, which really helps you step back into your own power, claim your own psychic space, and like that, the benefits are huge. So as I was mentioning, I do have an upcoming phase 1 Rainbow Bridge workshop being facilitated here in Ireland in Loughrea. It's being facilitated at the Sanctuary Centre in Loughrea, and there's only one Sanctuary Centre in Loughrea. It's easy to find. It's a beautiful beauty and holistic centre, 25 Dunkellen Street, Loughrea, County Galway, where the four-way junction is at the top of the town, across from Millennium House. We're very easy to find. Loughrea is also very accessible from Dublin Airport. So like that, I do have people that come overseas to see me for readings. So like that, please do feel free to contact me if you're interested in attending overseas to attend one of my workshops. It's being run on Sunday, September the 1st, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. So please feel free to contact me through my website, www.chloefolan.com, if you would like further details. or on my business Facebook page, Chloe Folan Clairvoyant. I always keep my events up to date. Please contact me if you, for some reason, can't find the posted event or details. But if you would like to attend on September the 1st for the phase 1 of the Rainbow Bridge techniques being taught, please do contact me soon, because that workshop is nearly booked out. As you can imagine, it is in high demand, so please do let me know soon. And I would just like to also mention that if you are having financial difficulties, there is a website, and you can access the website through my website. I have a link. So if you go onto my website, click on the Rainbow Bridge tab, and you'll see I reference a website, www.soul1.org, and that's SOUL, and the number 1, not one spelt out, soul1.org. That is the official website. That is the official website for referencing the Rainbow Bridge techniques. So if you are Googling the techniques and want more information, please go through that website. That is the official website for referencing the techniques further if you're having financial difficulties and for some reason can't attend the workshop, or are having difficulties coming to see me, or anything of that nature. I believe we do have someone who would like to take a call. Miranda in Columbus, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very good, Miranda. How may I help you? Would you like to run a query by me, and I will do my best to offer guidance for you? How can I help you?
I had a question.
Yes.
Okay. I was with my boyfriend for 8 years, and about 3 days before our 9th year anniversary, he broke up with me. And I needed to know if he's going to come back or anything like that.
Okay, so please clarify for me, how long ago was the breakup?
It was in February of this
February.
year.
Okay, Miranda, bear with me. I will just tune into your query. I also do use tarot as well to tune in. So please bear with me, and I will see what clarity I can bring for you on this matter. I'm just drawing some cards here for you for your query, tarot cards. Now, like that, it does seem to be just coming to the breakup, because I think sometimes to understand a situation, it's important to examine it in its entirety. Definitely, in terms of the breakup, there did seem to be a lot of stress on the relationship. And like that, even though there can be different factors that affect the relationship, huge amount of stress did precede this relationship breaking up. And I do think you both did know on some level that you were heading for a breakup, and it just was very difficult to be able to do anything else other than break up. It just seemed to be the only option at the time, or the only option that seemed to make sense. So even though it's very painful to go through something like that, it did seem to need some breathing space for you both. Definitely, I do believe he's aware over how much pain that it has caused you, and that it was a lot of outside factors that did play into the breakup happening. At the moment, how do I put this? I would not put your life on hold at the moment, even though it can be very difficult when you're still hurting, to feel like you could be open to meeting other people or being open to meeting other people. I am seeing there is an opportunity where you could get back together, but where my concern would lie is I don't think the issues will be addressed. So what I'm saying is I am seeing that there would be an opportunity where I do think you will be back in contact again, where you might discuss getting back together. But my concern would be is that the same issues would then cause the same conflict again. So my advice would be that when the opportunity does arise for you to reconnect, to be very open with each other and to not just discuss, well, should we get back together or will we, but to really discuss and look at what happened and see what can be done to kind of rectify the situation. And this is where my concern lies, where I'm not too sure if the same situations wouldn't play out again. So this is where I would say, please don't put your entire life on hold over the relationship. Please still be open to meeting other people and connecting with other people and forming another relationship. Because if you do get back into the same relationship with him, I don't know if the actual problems will be addressed properly, and you could find yourself going through it all again. So on that note, do you have anything you would like me to clarify with what I've said?
No, you were right.
So like that, this is where, and I always like to remind people of their own personal power, that even when I'm reading for a most likely situation, even though a most likely situation is the most likely one that will occur, please do understand that even within that you have choices. Please don't feel you've got to be a victim of circumstance or fate, which of course you are not. But I always like to remind people that when I'm reading for the most likely timeline, please remember you have choice. You don't have to get back together with him. If you are not happy and you can see quite clearly, please don't ignore the red flags, and you can see quite clearly that it's probably going to head in the exact same direction again. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes that's needed for you to have full closure to go, do you know what? I'm not doing this again. Now I understand why things happened the way they happened. Now I'm not going to have any what ifs. But at the same time, you do not have to get back together with him. A timeline on that, I do believe that this will probably occur. It's a little bit funny where I do believe he wants to contact you, but I think he's fully aware breathing space is needed. And like that, between 2 to 3 months' time, so not too long. So we're currently just in July, so that's July, August, around September. I do believe around September is around the month where he will make contact, but it's not going to be full on. It's just going to be, hi, how are you? How are things for you? And very gently leading into, would you like to meet up and talk about things? So please remember, Miranda, that within that situation, you have a choice. Please feel free to meet him. Please feel free to talk to him. But listen to your gut and talk things through with him. And if you feel that he's not really addressing the outer stressors that broke your relationship up and not wanting to look at making those changes to support the relationship in the future, you don't have to stay. And please, in the meantime, do be open to meeting other people. Please don't put your life on hold for one person.
Okay.
Are there any other queries you would like to run by me?
No, that was it. That was the only one I had.
Perfect, Miranda. It was an absolute pleasure. And if you would like to contact me again in the future, please do feel free to contact me through my website or through any of my social media pages. It will be a pleasure to hear from you again.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Take care and lots of blessings to you.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye. What I would like to do is come back to just briefly discussing what I was talking about earlier with Rainbow Bridge, and definitely with my next Ray Path production show. Please feel free to tune in, same time, same place. It will be every Tuesday. I'm going to discuss the Rainbow Bridge Phase 2 techniques, as well as also mention one of my integrated energy therapy workshops that I have coming up. And when I do discuss Phase 2 of Rainbow Bridge, I'm going to talk a little bit more about karma and karmic imbalance as well, just to clarify that for people. And that will be the rhythm of what I would like to offer people through these shows, is just discussing topics of interest, esoteric topics of interest, to provide some little golden nuggets of information to people about different works that I'm aware of that work and really help people and really empower people. But like that, if you did want to contact me directly for any reason, please contact me through my website. And once again, for those that are going through any financial struggles who are very interested in the Rainbow Bridge techniques, please go to the official Rainbow Bridge website, www.soul1.org, because you can access information on the techniques there as well. So like that, just in case there's any confusion when you go on that website, and I don't believe I mentioned it, the developers of the Rainbow Bridge technique were Josephine and Norman Stevens, the late Josephine and Norman Stevens. And when they released the techniques after 10 to 20 years of very in-depth study and verification of the techniques, they called the techniques the soul star clearing techniques. So like that is the proper name for the techniques, is the soul star clearing techniques. But the coined term is the Rainbow Bridge techniques because of the phenomena that can be in a vision seen within the central channels of those that are very far along with their internal and external pattern clearing work and anti-prana thread weaving. So just to clarify that, if you're going onto the website and seeing Soul Star Clearing, but then it does reference Rainbow Bridge as well and talks a little bit about how the coined technique term came about. So like that, the developers were the late Josephine and Norman Stevens, and like that they developed the techniques because they could see in everyone that they came across, regardless of how much money someone made or spiritual status someone had attained or who they were or what they did in life, to varying degrees, people would have these internal and external patterns. And that was the inspiration behind developing these techniques. So a lot of study, a lot of verification. These techniques were not just chucked out to the public, they were very well regulated. On that note, we're nearly on time now for the show. I just want to extend a massive thank you to people that called in, and a massive thank you to everyone that took time out of their evening to tune in. It was a pleasure. And I sincerely do hope you would like to join me again for the next Ray Path production show. Next Tuesday, same time, same place. And thank you to Dave as well for all of his support for producing my first show. I'm very much looking forward to next week. And thank you once again to the existing network of light workers for extending this opportunity to me, for joining this community. It's been an amazing opportunity. Absolutely thrilled, and it's been wonderful to connect with people in this way. Like that, it's very new for me to connect with people through live streaming and through videos. So I certainly hope for those that were waiting for me to put out more content, I certainly hope that this answers that ask and that request. And I look forward to creating future shows and connecting with more people. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I hope to see you all again next week.